Welcome to the Slowdown, a space to pause, breathe, and come back to yourself. I'm Catherine, a yoga teacher and embodiment guide, and together we'll explore what it looks like to live with intention through reflection and somatic practices. This podcast is for you if you are moving through change, overwhelm, or you're just looking for a more mindful, embodied way of being in our world today. So grab a warm drink, get comfy, and let's settle in together. Hello, darlings. Here we are at the end of April. The mornings have still been chilly, but it's beginning to warm up where I am. We got some yard work done this past week, and I've continued to enjoy letting my senses ground me in nature. I've been moving with the same theme I talked about last week, coming into connection through the world around us. And since then, I've been reflecting more on the idea of connection itself. What does it actually feel like to be connected? Connected to yourself, connected to the people around you, connected to your body, the earth, your life as it's unfolding. For me, connection feels like more patience, more openness, steadiness inside. I feel clearer, more purposeful, and more flexible with what the day brings. Things don't feel quite as sharp or overwhelming when I'm connected. And I've also been thinking about how important it is to remember that being disconnected is normal too. It's a part of being human. It can happen when we're stressed, overwhelmed, grieving, healing, growing, moving through change. And honestly, I don't know too many people right now who aren't navigating some kind of change. The whole world is shifting in so many ways. When we're in seasons of transformation, the things that once helped us feel connected might not work in the same way anymore. What we need can change. What feels nourishing can change. Even the version of ourselves we're relating to can change. I've noticed that whenever I'm integrating a shift in my own life, I often need to reorient myself. I need to learn my current needs again. I need to notice what helps now. I need to find new rhythms and supports, new ways of listening. Sometimes connection looks different in a new season. It might be less about doing what used to work and more about becoming curious about what is true now. This week, I've been noticing how often connection begins in such simple ways. Lighting incense and letting the scent draw me into the present moment. Holding a warm drink and tasting it slowly. Putting on music that shifts the energy in the room. Opening up to a friend. Stepping outside and listening to the birds or feeling the breeze on my skin. These kinds of moments help me come out of my head and back into what's real. I'm also noticing how much tuning into my body and moving intuitively helps me reconnect with myself. When something feels stuck, or when emotions need space, or when I'm just carrying tension that I can't think my way through, movement becomes the doorway. For me, one of the most supportive ways to hold space for myself is to first bring in my senses, connect to my breath, and then let the body move however it wants to move. Sometimes that looks like stretching in the kitchen, sometimes swaying to music, sometimes stomping or shaking things out, walking outside, laying on the floor, and just breathing. There are so many ways we can hold space for ourselves. It could be writing, getting into some water, talking to somebody safe, painting, dancing, sitting in the sun, crying, laughing, breathing, just letting life move through you and with you. Maybe connection is something we need to keep reorienting to, something we return to in new ways through each season of who we are becoming. For this week's practice, I want to invite you into something simple, gentle, and deeply supportive, creating a space to return to for yourself. I know that I've been stuck in the thinking that I can only make space for myself once everything around me is calm and organized or figured out. But often connection begins by intentionally creating even a small moment of space right where we are. So if it feels available to you, I invite you to choose a place in your home where you can pause for a few minutes. Maybe even creating a little space for yourself in a favorite chair or a corner of the couch or a spot by the window, the floor with a pillow or your bed. Just somewhere where you can meet yourself for a moment. And you might even gather a couple things that help your body feel supported or present. Maybe lighting a candle, maybe making a warm cup of tea, wrapping yourself in a blanket, or opening a window and letting fresh air in. You could put on some music or bring a plant nearby. Just setting up your space. What helps you know that this moment matters? You can even pause this while you get set up. And then once you've settled into your space, allow yourself to pause. You don't need to achieve anything here. Just arriving is enough. Take a slow breath in through your nose and gently let it fall out through your mouth. Again, breathing in and a longer, slower exhale. Let your shoulders soften. Let your jaw unclench. Let your belly be easy. Notice the support beneath you, the chair that's holding you, the floor beneath your feet, maybe the wall behind you. Just knowing that you don't have to hold yourself up alone right now. Now gently bring your awareness outward, looking around the room, and slowly notice 3 things that you can see. Then notice 2 things that you can physically feel. Maybe the warmth of your drink in your hands, or some fabric against your skin. And then notice one thing that you can hear. Maybe music, the hum of the house, birds outside, the quiet. Let yourself receive the sounds around you. If it feels comfortable, bring a hand to your heart and a hand to your belly. Take another slow breath in. And as you exhale, ask yourself quietly, what do I need right now? Pausing long enough to listen. Then you can ask, what would help me feel a little more connected in this moment? Maybe the answer is stillness. Maybe it's movement. Maybe it's tears or rest. Maybe stretching or stepping outside, or simply staying here and finishing your tea. Whatever arises, let it be enough. You don't need the perfect answer. You're just practicing a relationship with yourself. Stay here for another few breaths, noticing what it feels like to create space instead of waiting for the space to appear. Right? Noticing what it feels like to meet yourself as you are, rather than who you think you should be. When you're ready, take one final slow breath in through your nose and a long breath out through your mouth. Maybe gently wiggling the fingers or the toes, letting your eyes look around the room again. And maybe before moving on, just reminding yourself that you can return in small ways. You can create space for what you need. That connection can begin right here. A reminder that if you are in the Midland area, I would love to have you come to a somatic restorative yoga practice. You can find links below if you're interested. As you move through the week ahead, I invite you to notice the moments when you feel connected and the moments when you don't. Not to judge either experience, but to become more aware of what supports you in this season. Maybe the way you connect looks different than it once did. Maybe what once worked needs to shift. So maybe this week is less about having the answers and more about staying curious enough to listen. See if you can create small moments of space throughout your days. A few conscious breaths, a warm drink without rushing, stepping outside, moving the body, sitting in stillness for a little bit longer. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. If this episode supported you in any way, I would love to hear from you. Please leave a comment, a review, and share it with someone who might need it too. You can connect with me on Instagram at embodiedjourney_, where I share reflections, practices, and gentle reminders to live with more intention. You can find links to my website and ways to connect in the show notes. Until next time, take care of yourself and keep coming back to what feels supportive for you. I'm so glad you're here.